In this tutorial in Microsoft Excel, we're going to look at how to protect your work. This protection involves two things. Number one, how to prevent people from accessing your files even if they click on them. That would be a protection of your entire workbook. Or how to protect information in a sheet so people cannot edit or change parts of it or all of it. Let me show you a few quick tips and then we'll look at some details. Right now I have on the screen a sheet of children's allowances. And I really don't care who sees this particular sheet, but I don't want them to change anything on here. So what I want to do is to protect the sheet alone. To protect the sheet, you click on the Review tab at the top, and then click on Protect Sheet. Now, we can change all these options. We will not work on all of them, but the two that are default are select locked cells and unlocked cells. So I'm not going to allow the user to do that, to change anything. So it says protect worksheet and contents of locked cells. All cells by default are locked, but the lock doesn't work. It's not closed with the cylinder turned until you do what I'm about to do, which is put a password in. And once you do this, you can't reverse it if you forget the password. So I'm going to put in a simple 3-character password here and click on OK. It wants to confirm it. And now I confirmed it. Now my sheet is locked. So if I go here to change anything, I'll try to type in a different one. I get an error message. And it says the cell is on a protected sheet. I can't change totals. I can't do anything. I'm locked down pretty tight on this particular sheet. Now, if I'm on a different sheet, I can go ahead. Here's an important one. And I will go ahead and I can type in anything I want on this other sheet. But this one here is locked now. To unlock the sheet, you simply go to the Review tab, click Unprotect Sheet, put in the same password, and now the sheet is something I can change. I can, for example, I can put a 5 in there and change the numbers. So now I can change my sheet. I can add rows and columns, all kinds of things. Now let me show you something else you can do. Because all cells in every spreadsheet have the locked and unlocked feature, I can do something before I protect it. Let's say I want to be able to have Greta change her numbers if she opens the sheet. So I will highlight these cells, and then I will right-click, and I will go into my Format area, and under Protection, I will uncheck Locked. Click OK. Okay, now these cells are not locked, so when I protect the sheet, I will not protect these cells. So let me go ahead back and protect it again. And re-enter. Okay, now if I look here, I can change this one, and this one, and this one, all I want. I cannot change the other cells. I get the same error message. So you can choose which cells on a sheet are controlled by the protect and unprotect method. I'll unprotect it again. And now it's back to where I can change anything I want to, anywhere I want to. And I'll just revert these back. Oops. Go back here. So this gives me an option of how I can protect and unprotect. Now you notice there's lots of other options, and we can spend whole lessons telling you about options of allowing people either to format cells or format columns, insert rows or columns or hyperlinks or delete rows or use a pivot table. Those are all other variations of how you can do this. But we're just focusing basically on simple protection. So that's at the sheet levels, and you can protect and unprotect as many sheets as you want. You can also protect the workbook. And this is an option you have you can get to in two different ways. If I click on Protect Workbook, this is protecting the structure of the workbook, so no one can change that. And if I have that checked, no one can modify it. I'm going to cancel out of that. But what if I want to protect anybody from opening the workbook and looking at any of the worksheets? To do that, we click on the File menu, and we click on Info, and then we click on the box that says Protect Workbook. We're going to encrypt with a password. And I'll do that. And once a verification, now it's protected. So I'll go back here, and I will save the workbook. I'll close it. Now if I go to open it again, now I need a password to look at any of it. Once I type the password, I'm into the workbook. So you can protect the workbook as a complete entity that way if you want. Once again, you need the password, and if you forget the password, there's no good way to undo it. And the experts tell me that also you have to be careful, because a good hacker has been known to get around some of these defenses. So if you have something that's ultra critical, workbook protection may not enable you to protect the eyes on the document in every single case. But in vast majority of the situations, it works just fine. So to get to protect a workbook, you can click on File, Info. Now if I click on it again now and say Encrypt with a password, if I take out the password and click on OK, I've just unprotected it. So I'll go back again and I'll save my work. And now if I close my workbook and try to open it again, it opens fine. So to unprotect the workbook, you go through the same step: File, Info, Protect Workbook, only this time you delete the password rather than keep it in there. So you can protect important information on a sheet or a workbook and do lots more than what we can cover in this short lesson in Microsoft Excel.